Welcome to Hope Natural Health, the podcast inspiring you to be your best version. Join me, your host, Dr. Erin, naturopathic doctor, dog mom, cancer survivor, and girl boss weekly as we discuss all things health, hormones, and happiness with a little side of this thing called life. Welcome back to the Hope Natural Health podcast, where I try to get you healthy the right way. Last week's episode was all about irregular cycles and how to know if your cycle is regular or not, and reasons why it might be irregular. So go back and take a listen to that. It's a short, sweet episode, just like I like them. Today, we're going to be talking about what happens to your little brain when you don't eat enough. I talk to women all the time about making sure that we get enough calories. And so many women are under eating. And this definitely plays a role not only in our hormones, but our brain health. We need food to fuel our brain. So this is a few things that can happen when we don't eat enough. One, our brain actually might shrink. Yep. It might atrophy, it might start destructing itself if we don't eat, because if we don't have enough nutrients, we're starving our brain from doing what it needs to do, and it's going to shrink. Think about your muscles. Your brain is a big muscle. I mean, it's constantly working. And if we don't feed our muscles, they're going to shrink. If we don't work out, they're going to shrink. Same thing with your brain. If we don't feed it proper nutrients, specifically B vitamins, our brain might shrink. So I am a huge fan of B vitamins. You guys will hear me talk about them all the time clinically if you're one of my patients, and making sure that we support our body with all of the B vitamins to help support our brain, our red blood cells, our DNA, our mental clarity. Like, it's super, super helpful for brain fog and just trying to really have that good cognitive function. In addition, if we're not getting enough amino acids by eating protein or omega-3 fatty acids from good, healthy fats, it can also contribute to this atrophying of the brain. So healthy fats, we have this stigma. I talk about it all the time about how women are afraid of fats, and it's because they think we're going to get fat, but there's healthy fats, and they come from the omega-3s, cold water fish, nuts, seeds, sardines, salmon, things like that are good sources of omega-3 fatty acids to help support the brain. The second thing that might happen is, and it's funny because I'm going to use him as an example. Bill, our podcast host, just said, hey, this happened to me yesterday. I had back-to-back things and didn't eat enough. And he goes, it was so hard for me to form a sentence. And that is another thing that can happen. You have lack of concentration or memory issues. So your brain simply can't focus if you're not supplying it the essential nutrients. So you might notice that you're having trouble completing just the simplest of tasks, like forming a sentence. Like, notice if you're having trouble speaking, like, is it because I didn't eat? Maybe math or tasks that are more complex might really now seem impossible because you just don't have the brain capacity to do that. So again, some nutrients that your brain needs to do this, to concentrate and focus, is B vitamins, B9, folate, your omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin D, B3, all, again, the B vitamins, I can't stress them enough. So these are all effective for helping you concentrate more sharply. But I also want to preface, too, that you might be worried about eating too much. And that's another thing that we're always concerned about. But we are never really concerned about eating enough. It's always, oh my gosh, should I eat too much? So if you drastically cut your calories, or you're going on some sort of diet that you've heard about on social media, this actually can hurt your body and brain, because it's something so drastic that your body's not used to. It doesn't know what to do, and you are really starving your body those essential nutrients. So it needs the healthy diet. Your brain needs the healthy diet, just like your muscles need it, your hormones need it. Everything that you do needs these essential nutrients. It's also, a healthy diet is super important for a strong brain. So the brain benefits, again, from these nutrients, B vitamins, omega-3s, and others that are found in our food. But we want to make sure that we're eating nutrient-dense foods and not processed foods that have a lot of sugar, that are really empty in nutrients. Like, they have nothing that really serves us. So if we don't have the proper nutrients, like we're going to create that atrophy or that brain damage. We also might start craving foods that really don't serve us. So if you don't eat enough, you're going to choose to really kind of maybe binge on foods that aren't going to be helpful for you. So that's where planning and making healthy food choices is so important. I love meal prepping. I use a meal prep service. If you're local to Arizona, check out Gains on the Go. I have no affiliation, but I just love them. If you follow me on social media, you can get your meals delivered to you. And so that way you don't have to worry about what you're eating, and you make sure that you're getting all of the healthy nutrients, at least one of your meals. I mean, you can use them for both your meals, but we want to make sure that, you're not skipping meals and you're, really eating to fuel your body. You look at food in a different way rather than like, oh my gosh, I'm going to gain weight if I eat all this food. The cravings for food also distract you from things that you might need to do. Like, I'm always armed with snacks just in case, because I know we've all been in that situation where we're hangry and we're starving and we can't focus on anything else besides eating. And that if you don't have anything prepared, you're choosing something that might not serve you, and it's actually, harming your brain, it's harming your hormones, etc. So these are some tips as to why we need food to serve our brain and our mental capacity. And I challenge you to look at it and look at food in a different way, and food as nourishing your body rather than, being afraid of getting fatter, fitting in your jeans, putting on extra pounds. That's, the wrong mindset. And it happens, like we think about it, but if we think of food in a different way, it can motivate you. It could help you make different choices that actually are going to fuel your body. So hopefully you learned something from this, and that will start viewing food differently and making sure that you really nourish your body with the nutrients it needs. We'll see you again next week.